Hello, my name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And we're your hosts of the Too Vague podcast this week. Norah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
How's the weather going out there for you guys?
It's supposed to be like a small blizzard. All today, you weren't supposed to drive because the streets are wet.
Oh, okay.
Now there are big waves on the lake. Surf's up on the lake.
Lake Michigan.
Yes, the big one. Well, not the biggest one, second biggest one.
Right.
I just thought of this. I have to be up tomorrow and dressed and all ready for company at 8 a.m.
Oh, Lord. What are you doing? Anything fancy?
They changed the Xfinity. They got a different package in the building.
Okay.
And so people are coming to install 2 television boxes, one in like your living room, one in wherever else you want it.
Okay.
And now we only have one. And then what do you call it that gives us internet?
The wireless router.
Thank you, the wireless router.
Yeah.
I wish we got 2 of those because mine still doesn't go in my bedroom. I mean, my internet.
Yeah.
I spent $120 or something for an internet extender.
Oh, and it doesn't work, or?
It does sometimes, but it's not, it's still weak. Technology. Can't live with it. Can't live without it.
It's very true. I just don't do anything with the internet in my bedroom, so it's just kind of like I don't have an extender. I just do it in the living room. But
yeah.
Do you have enough HDMI cables?
HEME1?
No, HDMI cables.
Yes.
Yes.
My 15-foot cord.
But you only have one.
Yeah, but then I have a 3-foot cord too.
Oh, gotcha. I guess that's exciting, right? Are you getting better internet or better?
The TV package is much better.
Okay.
I hardly watch TV though, but I might because there's so much stuff on there. It's stronger internet.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, it can bench more.
Right. People have been complaining about their internet being intermittently going out. And mine does too, but it's just been the past couple of weeks, so I figured they were working on it or something.
Right. Yeah, and for me, it's the same thing with my internet service provider. It's going out a lot more than I think it should, but it is what it is. It's probably the best I can get right now, so I'll just stick with it. Speaking of watching things, have you seen any good movies lately? Well,
mine, of course, are on streaming.
Right.
And basically, I'm still into my British stuff.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I saw a couple, but
I do recall that you've seen a couple of our themed word today, which is mystery.
Mystery, yes. Yeah, that's my almost constant watch. It's mystery.
Oh, yeah?
But nice mystery.
Okay, what is a nice mystery?
It doesn't have a lot of blood and guts. Basically, there's a dead person. That's it. He's dead. Put police tape around and put up a tent.
Yes.
And that's all. And then you do all the detecting.
And maybe even not a body, just a chalk outline.
No, I think they quit doing those, but I think...
There was a bit on one of the Abrams Zucker movies for a Police Squad where there was a murder that was committed on a boat, and then they had a floating chalk outline. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, I have a movie I might wait because it might be a mystery, it might not. I don't watch much in the way of television mysteries, although I do like some of those... the procedurals with, the FBI or whatever. So the word today is mystery.
Mystery.
Life is but a mystery.
Well, that depends on your state of mind.
Oh, what if my state of mind is Ohio?
Ha.
What?
Don't do that to me because I can't think of anything now. But.
I'm sorry. I'll keep on message from here on out, or at least I'll try to.
Well, we'll see.
Not promising anything, but life is but a mystery.
And I said, well, that depends.
Okay.
I mean, some people just sort of go around and life's not a mystery. They just go around. Da, 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 da.
Even though it is.
Right.
I mean.
But it's not to them.
Right.
Because they're not thinking about it.
So they just think of life as predictable.
Pretty much.
That's boring. Isn't that boring?
I agree.
Nothing to explore, nothing to discover, nothing to learn if everything is predictable and known. wouldn't you say?
Well, life things.
Life things.
Like you go to school, you learn in school, but that's predictable. I mean, people have been doing it for more than a century.
Right.
That's expected. It's expected that you'll probably date somebody and you'll probably get married. I gotta say, I'm terrible. When I pictured somebody just going along, I pictured a female.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Well, I don't know if it's terrible you're a female. I mean, that would make sense.
But it would also kind of infer that the males have something to do and they're not a mystery.
Well, let me just say for the record, women have always been a mystery and not a mystery to me.
Okay.
Because I get along better with women.
Yes.
As far as talking and discussing and having conversations, I can connect with women better than I can connect with men in general, in my experience.
Yes.
But when it comes to like love stuff, Jesus, I have no idea. That will continue to be a mystery to me. Maybe intentionally a mystery. I don't know.
Well, I think the people that I was talking about just going and accepting what is supposed to come, they might, I mean, it might not be a mystery because, well, yeah, you're supposed to fall in love. So this must be love. Let's get married. Let's have a family, all that stuff.
Right.
So that might, it might just be Stepford Wives.
Oh, Lord.
Something. I don't know.
Are we talking about pod people now?
No.
Yikes. How we got on that subject?
Dissuaded.
Yeah.
What's that thing? We're doing what's that word? Going off on a tangent. Digressing. That was the biggest digression yet.
That's pretty, yeah, that's very digressive. I don't know. Yeah. But how we got off on that tangent is a mystery, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about what the definition of mystery is. Oddly enough, there are a lot of different definitions. Did you look up a lot of these?
Yeah, I looked some up.
Right.
There are like 4 basic ones that I came across. The first one is something that is difficult or impossible to understand or explain.
Yeah.
Okay. The mysteries of outer space. The mystery of, I don't know, how love happens, that sort of thing.
Yeah. The mystery of the colon.
I don't know if that's a mystery anymore.
I don't know. It depends on the colon.
I suppose.
Oh, speaking of, did you see that?
Raquel Welch.
Raquel Welch. Yes. Speaking of the mysteries of the colon, Raquel Welch, actress in Fantastic Voyage.
Okay. She was a female musketeer too, wasn't she?
I think so. She was in a lot of things where she's talked about as the first sex symbol, I guess, in movies, but I don't quite agree.
That's somebody's opinion.
Yeah. I mean, she was an attractive woman.
Oh, yeah.
And actually watching and seeing her in Fantastic Voyage, why doesn't that movie get remade? That would be an amazing sort of movie to remake, I think. Yeah. You can do a lot of interesting things with the way the body works nowadays with computer graphics and such.
Yeah, you're right.
Not to get off the subject, which we've already gotten off of several times.
We keep doing, yeah.
The next definition, you said something that is impossible to understand is the first one, the first noun.
Right. And then the next one is a novel, play, or movie.
Okay.
Dealing with a puzzling crime, especially a murder.
Right.
And then there's one about secret rites of certain societies, Greeks, Romans, pagan religions, and you accept the rites. They're a mystery.
Is that a theological sort of?
No, that's the 4th one.
Oh, okay.
These are groups, tribes, whatever, that aren't necessarily theological. Okay. Like the mysteries of analytic psychology.
Analytical. No,
that doesn't fit. Analytical. Yeah. We used the same dictionary, did we?
Yeah, I believe so. Mr. Oxford.
Yeah.
Senior Oxford.
That's not Oxbow's cousin.
No.
Oh, okay.
Ox and
right.
Ford. Anyway.
Yes. And then the fourth one is Christian theology. And I don't know, I would imagine it's other theology as well, why they said Christian. I mean, other places have their gods, their prophets.
Right.
And it's a matter of accepting on faith that it's this mystery is true. They don't know the answer.
Right.
Except on, just with faith. And that's not just Christian.
That's pretty much any religion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. There is sort of a mystical sense about the word in the origin as well. Middle English, the sense of mystic presence, hidden religious symbolism, which is from the Old French. You know French, right?
Well, I did 50, 60 years ago.
Okay. From the Old French, mystère.
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 Yeah.
That's what it is. Mystère.
Yeah. Stare. Except you swallow your R.
Mystère. And then Latin, mysterium, from the Greek mysterion, related to mystic. So there are a lot of these mystical sort of connections you can make with the word mystery.
I think it has a lot to do with it.
Essentially the gist, I mean, if I were to summarize mystery, what it means, it's an unknown to be solved in general, or you can just let it be a mystery.
Exactly.
When we were talking about this earlier offline, you were saying once you know the solution, it's no longer a mystery.
Mystery, exactly.
Yeah.
All the books I read, I read tons of mysteries. And they start out as mysteries, but somewhere near the end, around the denouement, I suppose, you find out what all happened. And so there goes the mystery. It's all solved.
Yeah. Denouement. Okay. Climax, change of events, usually when something is decided or made clear. I'm sorry, I've never used that word before, denouement.
Oh, really? I use it all the time.
Because that's very similar in the, you know what I mean? Denouement. It looks like denouement.
Oh, dear. I thought I was bright and cheery and all ready for today.
Let me just see. So it is denouement. Either that or I looked up the wrong word.
It's French.
Yeah.
It's a French word that has become accepted in English.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
It is a French word, but that's what they use when the mystery unravels. Like everybody, yeah.
Okay. It's not a epitome thing here. It's just a different way of pronouncing it. That
probably. Yes.
Okay. Because like I said, when you said that, I was like, does she mean denouement? Because that's what I would say. Denouement, I've never used.
Now you're making me second guess myself. Did I say it right? I'm going to sound stupid.
No.
Well, I'm sure I said it the way I've always said it, the way I learned it.
Yeah.
So
that's why I say epitome.
I got to say that kind of messed me up when I had my first guitar.
Oh, yeah?
Back in college. Yeah, it was an epitome.
Oh.
Or one, I can't remember.
Right.
Probably one. And I actually asked someone, might have been Adam.
How it was pronounced.
Yes, because because of you guys doing that thing about epitome.
Epitome, yeah.
Is this guitar an epitone or is it an epitone?
Epitome.
Yeah.
Yes, pronunciation. We'll get off the denouement thing because I think I knew what you were talking about when you were saying it. I just didn't know it was the same thing. I was second guessing myself. The final part of the play or movie or narrative.
Right.
When you think of mystery, what are some of the things that you think of? Is it television media, books primarily? Because I know your mother was a big fan of mysteries, was she not?
Yes, she was.
Miss Marple, I think.
Well, that was one of them.
Yeah.
She was a lot more broad in her reading than that.
Okay.
That was one of them. She did like mysteries.
Yeah.
So it's just like her daughter likes mysteries now.
Right.
Always has. Yeah, movies, TV, and books. Probably books first because I actually read more books than I watch shows of any kind.
Okay.
I've taken to reading cozy mysteries.
Okay, I don't understand the genre of cozy. You've said cozy mysteries before.
Okay, you don't see the gutted dead body.
You see the chalk outline.
If you do, you hear so and so's dead.
Right.
And everybody is nice and they get along and they go to bars and bakeries together.
Right. There's no one swindling or killing or.
Oh no, there's people. There's bad people, but they're nicely bad. I mean, they're not evil.
Oh, okay.
They're not.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get that evil.
Evil. I'm not going to repeat it.
It sounded pretty evil when you said it. Let me just say.
Like Kill Bill evil. I don't know.
Evil.
That.
Like
yes.
the fruits of the devil.
Huh? Yeah.
No, never mind. It's from a movie that the Pentaveret.
Oh, yeah.
It's from a Mike Myers movie.
Okay. I don't remember that, but I did see it.
Yeah, it wasn't from Pentaveret, but it was from a Mike Myers movie called
okay.
So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Okay.
Which was one of my favorites.
Jeez. But I also like mysteries if they're a comedy, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I want to either laugh or feel good.
Okay.
And this has come about since I got older.
Right.
I think it was around November 7th, 2016.
Wow, that's very specific.
Yes, it certainly is. And it's like I just turned to anything comfortable, like sucking your thumb.
Okay.
So that's when cozy mysteries came. I mean, I'd read some before, but it's like, man, I just wanted to read those and just go into my own little world.
Okay.
And not think about what the world was.
Yeah. Okay. I've never heard that descriptor before, but looking at things like Goodreads and looking at other literary websites, there is a cozy mystery genre that I was not aware.
Truthfully, I think that's fairly new in literature genres in maybe 20 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
That they're calling it that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it when I was younger.
Okay.
When Mom was reading Agatha Christie stories,
right,
she wasn't reading a cozy mystery. I mean, that isn't what it was categorized as.
Okay.
Just as a mystery. But it is a cozy mystery.
You know, hard-boiled. Like they call some things like hard-boiled or soft-boiled.
Oh, hard-boiled.
Cozy mystery is referred to as soft-boiled.
Oh, yeah.
As a direction. Yeah, cozy mysteries, also known as cozies.
Yeah, oh my.
Subgenre of crime fiction where sex and violence occurs off stage.
I kind of described that, didn't I?
Exactly. No blood, no, just kind of like this happened. And you're like, okay, don't picture it.
Yeah. Now the sex parts, every once in a while we have a cozy author who thinks they should add sex into this.
Oh.
And it's like I start reading it and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's not what I'm reading this book for.
Yeah.
There's books I could go to if I want, but I still keep reading and just sort of.
That's some other sort of egg variant then.
Yes. That's a scrambled or something.
I don't know if it would be, I would say poached, maybe. I think it's a poached.
Might be.
Put that sex in there, it's a poached. We should characterize everything by egg preparation.
That, I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I think we don't have enough egg preparations.
You don't think so?
To do that.
Okay. All right. Well.
No. Unless we generalize and put things in a group, too many things in one group.
Yeah.
So like children's books and cozy mysteries all together.
That's so over easy. It's not even funny.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, the mystery, the soft-boiled or cozy mystery.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah.
I wanted to see if that was an actual genre. I wasn't going to ask you, but yeah, it is an actual genre.
Yeah.
Golden age of detective fiction is what they refer to as cozy, which was coined in the 20th century. So anything on television, I think, wouldn't that be considered a cozy mystery, like Murder, She Wrote or Matlock?
That sort of thing, yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, probably Matlock. Some of the TV programs weren't cozy.
Oh, yeah. Even back then.
But many were.
Right.
A lot of the stuff on public broadcasting.
PBS, yeah. Yeah, gotcha.
A lot of the mysteries that they had were cozy type You didn't see Blood and Guts.
And the cozy mysteries you watch are like BBC mostly?
Yes, BBC and ITV.
What the US audience seems to like is sort of a less cozy and more blood and guts, dead bodies, morgues.
Right.
People pulling out all sorts of organs and whatnot.
Right. Now, I have to say, in the cozy mysteries, when they do autopsies, they do have some blood and guts.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes. But the guy's dead, or the girl's dead. So,
It's now an object.
Yes, right.
The cadaver.
Yeah.
I don't know why, when I say the word cadaver, I always think of magic.
Abracadaver. Cadaver.
Abracadaver.
How many coroners have said that?
Cadaver or abracadaver?
No, abracadaver. Let me show you what I found in this body. Oh, abracadaver.
Abracadaver.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm sure many, many have. Even more so if they're related to us.
Right. I don't know if we have any coroners in the...
Maybe in Lithuania, who knows? But
yeah, right.
Back to cozy mysteries. Okay, so when you watch a movie, do you prefer the cozy mystery movie? Is that sort of what Glass Onion was?
Yes.
You saw the original movie Knives Out also, correct?
I'm sure I did.
Okay.
But, my mind.
It features a detective.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the genre. It's not like a cooperative sort of thing where a police unit or whatever together solve a mystery.
Sometimes that's one of the new catches getting a little bit popular. The police are always fighting against the civilian who's trying to solve the case because they're real smart.
Oh, okay.
And the police know we have to do this our way, blah, blah. But then every once in a while, they get together and they discover they both could use each other.
Yeah.
Or need each other.
Right.
And so there are a number of them where you have a civilian and a police person that detect together unofficially.
That's kind of like Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah. I haven't seen the new.
I haven't seen the second season yet, but the first season was very much like that.
I think there's a third season. I saw the first and second.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a third.
I let my Hulu lapse, but they're going to be in a month or two my service on because my service is now going to be off for...
Oh, okay.
I've got a regular thing. So now Netflix and Paramount Plus are off, and Hulu and Disney will probably be on pretty soon once I get tired of YouTubing it up.
Netflix is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $16 a month or something.
You can go lower. I mean, I think I was paying somewhere in that neighborhood, but I was getting streamed lower quality video because I really didn't care too much. So the lower quality was fine by me, so I paid a little less.
When I started, it was like $9.99 or $8.99.
Right.
So it's gone up.
Yeah.
Regularly. It's a mystery.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a mystery. I think it's...
Greed.
Greed is a better way to put it. So, mysteries, the cozy variety. I saw an action comedy, but there is an element of mystery to this, where there are a bunch of contract killers on a train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The movie was called Bullet Train. A Brad Pitt vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Where you've got all these contract killers on a train. You sort of know what the main contract killer, Brad Pitt, who pretty much you're seeing the story mostly through their eyes, but you know what their focus is. But you don't really know all the other contract killers, why they're there, what they're doing, why it's happening. So you kind of have to put all those things together, and you do that through the movie, or the main character does that through the movie. So he's trying to figure out, what are all these contract killers on the train for?
Yeah.
The director of Bullet Train, his name is David, I want to say Leitch, Leitch.
Leitch, but who knows?
For the sake of argument, David Leitch, who made his directorial debut with John Wick, which is very action-y, bloody.
Uh-huh.
Also has directed a spin-off from the Fast and Furious franchise. Originally, he was a stunt coordinator. Got his start in the business. Generally, he was a Brad Pitt stunt double. He looks very much...
Okay.
This is really funny. It's like He was a stunt double primarily for Brad Pitt and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh.
And honestly, the dude looks like a combination of the both of them. Really. I mean, he just looks like if Brad Pitt and Jean-Claude Van Damme had a child, it would look like this dude. Stuntman turned director.
Mm-hmm.
And my gosh, this movie is, now that I know this, it does have a lot of well done action and a lot of fight sequences and one-on-one interactions on this bullet train. Based on a screenplay from Zach Olkewicz.
Olkewicz, something like that.
Okay, Zach Olkewicz. Based on a Japanese 2010 novel called Maria Beetle.
Okay.
But the translated version in the US and the UK is known as Bullet Train.
Wow.
It's really interesting because the Brad Pitt character's code name for doing his job is Ladybug.
Ah.
And there's an interesting sort of story about Ladybug as it relates to Japanese culture that's told.
Ah, okay.
There are a lot of, I want to say twists and turns, but it's more like you don't know, you have a pretty good idea who the villains are and who the heroes are.
The good hitmen and the bad hitmen? Is that it?
Right. The oblivious hitmen. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
What makes this funny also is the Brad Pitt hitman in the movie has kind of had a change of heart. He's like it's one of those movies where it's like the hitman is like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this business anymore.
Yeah.
And he goes to his locker before he gets on the bullet train, and the whole movie takes place for the most part on the bullet train itself.
Uh-huh.
One or two sequences off the bullet train in the station. He doesn't take a gun.
Oh.
Eventually he takes someone else's gun to use, but he doesn't, because his mission is to grab this suitcase, get off the train.
Okay, it wasn't to kill somebody.
No, it wasn't actually to do that. He was just told to grab the suitcase, and he's filling in for someone too. It's like also there's in his supplies, you didn't order that sleeping powder, did you? No, not at all.
Oh,
of course, he's got this sleeping powder, which becomes a
Uh-huh.
part of the plot. If you don't like those kind of movies, if you want cozy, this is not cozy. There are people bleeding from various orifices of their body.
Yeah. If it's a comedy sort of thing, that's not bad.
Yeah, it says it's a comedy, and I think a lot of the comedic timing, there are also two characters that I really like called Tangerine and Lemon.
Oh, okay.
And they have a mission where they're supposed to bring this notorious gangster's son back to him. That's their general mission.
Oh.
So a part of them being on the train is that. But the character Lemon, he describes everyone by Thomas the Tank Engine characters.
Okay, yeah.
He has a little pack of stickers that he uses to identify whether someone is a Thomas or a Diesel or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the quirky sort of things about this movie that's kind of funny.
Right.
I'd say it's worth checking out. Now,
yeah.
That being said, I wouldn't call this a mystery movie, but there are elements in it where Brad Pitt is trying to figure out, as a part of interacting with people, but also through his handler, why these people are after him or doing things. And you will see things that only you know, but the character doesn't.
Yes.
When you're talking about a mystery movie, do you want to be in the dark just like the character? Or would you rather see the details as they're occurring and then watch the character figure the stuff out?
I think I'd rather not know. Every once in a while, it's a good gimmick,
mm-hmm.
In a movie or a book or something. But for the most part, I'd rather not know and make my own decisions, until we find out what the true answer is.
Right.
I think
You probably wouldn't know until you saw a good movie that's done it well, kind of thing. But
Right.
But I think people want to be, sometimes when they go to movies, they want to be surprised.
Yeah.
People have also said it's got a twist.
Uh-huh.
Is a twist necessary for a mystery?
It's not necessary, no.
I don't
but
think
it's,
it is.
Another nice thing.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a nice thing. Sometimes it's weird.
or it's inappropriate or pointless.
Pointless, yes.
They put one in there just to kind of keep you on your toes or distract you even from the story.
Right.
Procedural. You said to me...
Before we bypass cozy mysteries, I just want to say, in my life, I didn't used to read cozies, particularly, maybe one here and there, but I read crime books. I read The Silence of the Lamb, Thomas Harris. I can't think of the name of the book The Silence of the Lambs came from. But that kind, I read that and a bunch of other ones like that. They're novels, but they, I was reading those. And then eventually, and I read other books too, lots of different other books. But eventually I went to true crime.
Okay.
And so it's not a matter of me going, oh, blood and guts. Ooh, that's not it. It's just at this time in my life, I just want to be comforted.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I have read and enjoyed the others.
Right.
The other types,
Right.
So I also read nonfiction, in case you guys think I'm just sort of a
trashy romance novels.
No, that's where I draw the line. If I'm going to read trash, it's going to be something in a different genre.
Gotcha. So would you consider procedurals? I mean, procedurals can focus on mysteries.
Yes.
But they also can focus on other things, right? It doesn't have to be a mystery. It's just the day in the life of whoever. That's the thing. When I hear procedural, my mind automatically goes to things like CSI.
Right.
But procedural can be other things. What are your thoughts on the procedural and how it seems to be a part of a lot of mystery series, at least in the US? Right. It's almost true crime.
Yeah. Yes and no. It can be.
I mean, it's details, right?
Yeah, but usually there is some story around it, whether it's a mystery or not. There's a story around it. Otherwise, if you're just reading about, first you have to do this, and then after you do this, you look in all these places. Your research has to do, blah, blah, blah. And that would be pretty boring.
Yeah.
You know how you like stories in your games.
Right.
Okay. I would like stories in my procedurals.
And I think that's where the successful shows, like CSI, they had their characters and,
yes.
Those are kind of enjoyable because you get to know the characters and their flaws and how they,
right.
how they interact in certain situations.
You get invested in the personalities, yes.
The procedural part is the details on how they do things.
Right.
It's how do they pull the fingerprints from whatever or what sort of method they use in this.
Right.
Bones, I think, was a good one that I used to enjoy. But
oh, yeah.
Bones was fun.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was about the characters more than it was about the...
I think most TV shows and movies are characters and story. The procedural part is just in there to give it to tie it together, I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people, when they see a movie, they seem to be pulled out of a story if it doesn't have enough realism.
Oh, yeah.
So perhaps the procedural part of this is to keep someone invested in the story. Maybe.
Yeah, especially with CSI.
Oh, yeah. If something was like, oh, that's not the way it's done, that can disengage someone from the story.
Right, right.
And I see that all the time in movies. It's like even things that it's obviously fiction.
Yeah.
That superhero movie where he does blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's a superhero movie. It's like if you were to watch a cartoon and see someone drop the anvil on the person's head, you go, oh, they wouldn't be flat. That's not realistic. It's like,
right.
I don't think you understand. So giving up the procedurals are part of your mandate on cozy mysteries, essentially.
Not necessarily, but I did them already.
Yeah.
Now, I should also say I like Scandinavian mysteries.
Ooh.
And a lot of Scandinavian mysteries are noirish.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Scandinavian Noir is actually a subset. And I still read those. I started a long time ago, and I still read those in between.
But those aren't cozy, is what you're saying?
No.
No.
Generally, no.
Okay.
Well, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Right.
How cozy was that?
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
That is in that genre, that sort of the...
Yes.
Okay. Scandinavian Noir.
Noir.
Interesting. Are there a lot of meatballs and furniture in it?
I don't know. There might be.
The Mystery of the Poang. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Man, I didn't know what you were talking about for the longest time when you talked about this.
Yeah, I was referring to IKEA, fine maker of semi-disposable Scandinavian furniture, as Andrew once called it, and it's stuck with me ever since.
Fine maker of pieces of furniture that then you put together.
Right. Do-it-yourself furniture.
Yes, right.
With only graphics for instructions.
You wouldn't understand Swedish, would you?
Well, I mean, these days, who cares, right? You've got your Google Translate app. All you'd have to do is just kind of,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not an issue anymore, not so much. Whereas before, if you got your instructions in Chinese, well, then you're kind of screwed. But
yeah.
Thank you, phone. Are there any memories that you have that you associate with mystery? Like memories or stories or things that you think of?
Not that I can think of. Do you mean like in my personal life?
Yeah. When we were younger, we used to read Encyclopedia Brown books.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That was a cozy mystery.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you would learn about the detective Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole downtown. No, he's not that Leroy Brown.
Yeah, different.
I seem to remember that. Donald J. Sobel was the author of the Encyclopedia Brown books. One of them was co-written by someone else, but for the most part, they were all written by Donald J. Sobel. They were first published in 1963, which I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I do remember having some that I got in the 70s that were hardback that I used to read, and I used to think that that was interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And they were very short.
Right. That was after my time of reading that kind of
book.
We read Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. Oh, yeah.
That was our girl detective.
And then also occasionally the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
That was the sexism of girls read Nancy Drew and boys read the
Hardy Boys, yeah.
But they were still mysteries, yeah. That was the sexist line between the two of them.
Back in the 50s.
I do remember reading one or two Hardy Boys mysteries, but I think possibly how very quickly you could read an Encyclopedia Brown story, which contained a different mystery in each little blurb. More often than not, Bugs Meany was the culprit.
Okay.
I tell you, Bugs Meany, man. He was the main villain, Bugs Meany.
Yeah, no mystery there.
No. Who did it? Bugs Meany. But how?
Right.
And how do we pin this on Bugs Meany?
That's the mystery.
It's the mystery.
Work backwards.
Yes. There have been a couple of new movies with the girl who plays Eleven on Stranger Things. Did you watch Stranger Things at all or no?
Oh, I did at the beginning.
Yeah.
I watched probably the first season.
Gotcha. Millie Bobby Brown. That is her name. And she is in two movies that are called Enola Holmes, which has to do with...
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch any of those? I haven't.
I watched the first one, yes.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Even though it was fairly simplistic and, I don't know, some people might not like messing with Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
The classic Sherlock Holmes. But nowadays, everybody's doing it.
Yeah. That was the thing, too, I remember the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Yes, I do, but I can't pull it out of my head.
I'm trying to think of, it was, Guy Ritchie. It was a Guy Ritchie sort of thing. The Guy Ritchie iteration, where he used a whole bunch of Guy Ritchie-isms. I'm like, everything in that movie... It's like, yeah, that was obviously filmed by Guy Ritchie kind of thing.
I saw it. I just don't remember.
The other thing I was going to say, as far as memories involving the word mystery, has to do with a movie that I remember seeing when I was younger. And it had, which at the time seemed to be one of the coolest computer animated sequences. The movie written by Christopher Columbus, not that Christopher Columbus, but Chris Joseph Columbus, person who is the director for Mrs. Doubtfire, Home Alone, Adventures in Babysitting, which is, that's a classic for me, Adventures in Babysitting.
Okay.
That was his directorial debut, was Adventures in Babysitting. But the one that I remember was very close to his start.
Mm-hmm.
And he had sort of I want to say relationship with Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg saw one of his films that he made, I believe, in school.
Yeah.
And was really intrigued by it. So he worked with him, and Chris Columbus wrote Gremlins, the movie Gremlins.
Oh.
He also wrote The Goonies, and this movie I want to talk about, which is Young Sherlock Holmes, which was Sherlock Holmes as a teenager, directed by Barry Levinson.
Uh-huh.
One of the scenes I remember, it was a mystery as to what's going on with people who were dying, right? They were, it looked like they were all committing suicide. One of the scenes where one of the characters was under the influence, let's just say, of a drug that made them hallucinate. They were in a church, and the stained glass jumped out of the stained glass window, and it was a knight that had a sword, and it kind of, in the stained glass, the pieces walked towards the character with his sword looking menacing. When it passed the camera, you saw the back of it, and it looked, it was just, it was really neat the way they did the whole.
Yeah.
And it was computer animated. So that's a memorable sort of thing to me.
Yeah.
As far as early computer animation, I was saying to myself, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. See, that doesn't sound familiar to me. I bet I never saw that.
I'll send you a clip. I'm sure there's a clip out there of the.
Yeah. I saw Young Dr. Frankenstein, I think that was, or whatever it was.
Young Frankenstein? Are you talking about Young Frankenstein?
Dr. Frankenstein.
You mean Frankenstein?
Yeah.
But anyway, games. Let's go to games.
No, look, one more mystery.
Oh, okay. What's the mystery?
Back in the day of everybody's schoolhood.
Okay.
When you went to school, there was always mystery meat.
Oh, yeah. The mystery meat.
And it's still a mystery.
Exactly.
Did they still have cafeterias in school that serve lunches to
I do not know. There are government-funded programs that have things for school meals, so I'm guessing there are.
Right. I'm sure there are.
They might be handled a little bit differently now since the pandemic, but the school cafeteria, you were always suspicious.
Even if you ate it and you loved it, it was still mystery meat.
Yes. Is that meat or cake? What is it? I don't know.
That was my only other mystery.
Yeah, the mystery,
but
mystery meat. Yeah, that's a good one. What's in there? That's a good one.
On to games.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have any mystery games that you've played? I know I've recommended a couple of mystery games to you recently.
Yeah.
One of which you can say it's sort of film noirish, Grim Fandango.
Oh, okay. I have not tried that.
Okay. Grim Fandango is by one of my favorite designers, video games of the game Psychonauts also.
Yes.
I want to say Grim Fandango was his first, like him running the show. Came out in 1998, and it was directed by Tim Schaffer at LucasArts.
Yeah.
And recently, Double Fine Games, which is Tim Schaffer's game company, acquired the rights to it, and they did a remaster, which I bought for you a bunch of the other games that they remastered.
Yes.
But Grim Fandango is a really, really cool sort of adventure mystery game where you control the character Manny Calavera.
Okay.
He lives in the land of the dead, and he's a travel agent. But he meets a character named Mercedes Colomar in the underworld and kind of falls in love with her, but is also trying to solve this mystery as a part of it. And there's also a hilarious part where he goes to a Day of the Dead, which I'm guessing is every day in the Day of the Dead. But it's like a carnival with like floats like you would see in a Day of the Dead parade kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And there is one of the characters who is making balloon animals.
Yeah.
And you talk to him and you ask him to make all sorts of weird balloon animals, like as a part of this whole, like the joke is if you like clap or something, he pops the balloon with his bony fingers and is like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. One of the ones that he makes, can you make a dingo? And it's like, oh, that's easy. Trying to stump me. And then one's, oh, what about Robert Frost? and then he does
yes
a profile of Robert Frost in balloon form. It's just, just goofy, funny, weird. It gets a little darker at the end, but it's definitely worth checking out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's definitely more low tech than something like
Broken Age.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
The graphics, it's a 3D sort of representation of the same stuff that you saw in Broken Age, right? It's more like you're walking around in 3D environments, which can be disorienting for someone who hasn't done it before.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a really fun story. It's got some really funny parts, some really twisted parts in it too.
It looks like it. As soon as I do all these things I'm responsible for in the next few days, I'll try it.
Okay. That is one of the games that I remember playing. Also being a fanboy of Tim Schaffer, I had to mention it.
Yes.
We've got that. And then also, it's the same company, LucasArts, also put out this game called Sam & Max, which is sort of about freelance detectives. And it's a dog and a rabbit, cartoon dog and a rabbit who have to solve a mystery. It's a point-and-click adventure, like Grim Fandango. But the characters, Sam and Max, are very unique. The dog is the detective, and Max, the tiny little bunny-looking thing, is the muscle.
Oh, okay. Of course.
The cute little bunny is the thing that you got to worry about.
Right. Well, I love anthropomorphic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sam and Max is funny. I don't know if they have it on the iPads because I think someone bought the rights to the Sam and Max series, and I think maybe the person who wrote it originally had the rights to it too. There was a company called Telltale Games that had the rights to it for a while. You can find the Sam and Max games on Steam. If you have a PC, you might be able to play them on there, but it's really, really funny. Unique characters. It's a buddy picture. It's a buddy mystery. So anyway.
Okay.
And there's Sasquatches involved. Ooh.
They're
in the original.
But the bunny takes care of them.
The bunny can take care of pretty much anything. There's also the largest ball of twine. Part of solving this mystery is going cross country.
I was going to say, is that in Kansas or something?
I don't know if there's actually the largest ball of twine.
Yes, there is.
Oh, is there?
It's a tourist attraction. Well, there was. I don't know. I don't know if it's still around. Yeah, it was a tourist attraction. Yes.
Huh. It was one of those Route 66 things?
Now, I don't know if it was or not, but it was sort of in the middle of the country, I think.
Okay.
That's, like I said, Kansas.
I'm going to look it up because I'm very interested.
I know. And then you're going to prove that I'm wrong.
No, you're right. It is in Kansas.
Oh, wow.
In Cocker City, Kansas. The world's largest ball of twine.
Jesus.
As of 2014, 1.6 million feet of twine. Let me see if it's referenced here. Oh, yeah. The computer game Sam and Max Hit the Road has the world's largest ball of twine as one of the attractions you visit in the game. I remember that. I think they unwind the ball of twine.
Yeah.
But it's to solve a puzzle, so it's totally fine.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right.
My trivia skills are, right up there.
Yeah, you got it. That was probably the inspiration for that game, was all the different strange roadside attractions.
Right, and there are.
Oh, yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to say as far as games were concerned, the game Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, is a series of games that the character is solving mysteries, but he is an attorney, which doesn't make any sense, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because the attorney doesn't actually have to solve the murder mystery, but he questions the subject and he visits the sites and so on and so forth to solve the mystery of the person that is being accused of murder or whatever. And it's sort of an interactive fiction kind of thing, but with a little bit more depth. But as part of the discovering who the perpetrator of the thing is, you have to question them in court and you have to bring up evidence that was found. And So it's, you know, it's a fun little, I would say a kid's game in general, even though it might not be.
Right.
It would definitely be a cozy mystery.
Now, what's the name of it again?
It's called Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
I never got a thing from you.
I think it was a long time ago I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. So I probably did watch it and just forgot about it. But I can tell you about the biggest ball of yarn in Kansas.
Yeah. Twine.
I know. It's not yarn. I know that.
The biggest ball of yarn in Kansas is something else.
Yeah.
Have you heard about The Thing in Arizona?
The Thing?
Yes. It is The Thing. It's not the super creepy horror movie.
Okay.
By
That's what I
John
was
Carpenter.
wondering. Yeah.
No, it's not that. Although maybe some people come to see if it's that, but no.
Hoping? Yeah, right.
Yeah, The Thing. It's just something that it's like you saw The Thing. It's just something in a tent. It's like one of those things where you go to the carnival or the fair and it's like,
yeah,
see the monkey with 17 heads or whatever. It's kind of like that.
Right.
But yeah, it's in Arizona. If you want to see it when you're
something
out
for me
here.
to do. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, put it on my to-do list.
I think you should keep at the top of your to-do list, play games with Ben.
And do a podcast.
Do a podcast too, yeah.
At least.
Yes, at least one, if not 17.
Yeah. Right.
So Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, you're solving mysteries as a part of the game, right?
Right.
I sort of alluded to the fact that it's a visual novel series, but as a part of this, you're doing actual video game things to essentially figure out the story. You're finding objects, and then you're using deductive reasoning and you're questioning of various people to get them to admit to the crime on the stand, therefore clearing your client.
Yeah.
Which happens all the time in court.
Perry Mason.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Perry Mason. Yeah.
Yep.
Shu Takumi is the person who created Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, the series. He worked for Capcom, and Ace Attorney is what he's best known for. He worked on a lot of the action-oriented games, like he worked on Dino Crisis 2, and Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
But Phoenix Wright was basically his baby. And then after they created that for the Nintendo DS, which is the double screen that has one display screen and one's touchpad that is also a display screen, the next game that he made was Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective.
Okay, that I have.
Okay.
Ghost Trick.
Yeah. I sent you that because it's a free, you can play the first chapters.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing you haven't played it yet, but it's
you know me well.
It's more game-like, right? It's not like an interactive fiction sort of game. It's an adventure game where you have to figure out puzzles to basically change the outcomes of certain things. And also the bigger mystery as you're saving people from this evil person or whatever is you're changing their fates, and you're also changing your own and figuring out who you were and why you were murdered.
Oh.
You start the game and you're dead.
Okay.
But you're a ghost and you can travel into objects and make them do things. You're limited in the amount of space. When you play it, you'll find out, but you kind of can drag a line between objects and then activate the object, which will make it move somehow. Like, let's say you have a folding chair. Well, the folding chair, if you unfold it, will allow you to get to another object that you need to manipulate in order to solve the puzzle, kind of thing. The other main power that you have is if there's a body that's not unconscious, which I don't know what that's a confusing part. If it's not unconscious, if it's unconscious, you can't talk to it. But if it isn't unconscious, if it's dead, then you can totally talk to it.
Oh, okay.
When you inhabit the body. You can't inhabit your own body, but you can inhabit other people's bodies. And what you do is you can have a conversation with them while you're in the body. And then your power is you rewind time by 4 minutes. You solve the puzzle to get certain things to happen and to interrupt whoever the character is who's eliminating these people or trying to kill them or whatever, thus changing their fate.
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
It's actually really fun. I have it for the iOS myself. I bought the game, but recently, which is really an interesting sort of announcement, it was announced on a Nintendo Direct that they're going to make it for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. So there's a version, which is like a remastered version of this game that's coming out. It was praised as a game, and it was different after Takumi had made the previous Ace Attorney games. It's like, well, this is kind of a one-trick pony. We can do another one, but I want to do something different. And that's where he came up with this Phantom Detective puzzle-solving game based on a book series that he read as a child. High-definition remaster is scheduled for release on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One in mid-2023.
Okay.
If you want those high-end graphics on something that's obviously a cartoon, you can wait for that. But
I'm sure somebody does.
Well, I mean, there are fans. I mean, that's the thing. If you've got one system and you're a fan of this, I mean, it's also one of those things where it wasn't super duper popular. It didn't connect like Ace Attorney connected with people. So it wasn't given its due, I think, as far as it should have been more popular based on how much fun it was. But yeah, it's really an interesting sort of puzzly game.
Yeah.
Originally the game was called Ghost Spy.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't make, well, I mean, is he a spy? Is he not? I don't know.
Yeah.
We were working on, so here's a quote from Shu. We were working on the third Ace Attorney and figured it was time to start thinking about the next thing, so I came up with a plan to make a new type of mystery, something different in a style from Ace Attorney. The game was originally Ghost Spy, later renamed Ghost Trick, the Phantom Detective. It also reminds me of Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, yes.
There was a series called Interplanetary Spy, which is basically puzzles.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me, it's that kind of thing. It's a puzzle book series where you do puzzles to unlock things. I would have mentioned Professor Layton, that series, but that's basically you're solving a mystery through puzzles. I want to hold on to that one because I'm hoping eventually you'll play that too because you like puzzles.
Yeah. I wrote it down.
That's good. That's a step.
Yeah, it's a step.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Baby steps. You'll get to it after your taxes are done. So that is all I have to say about games and the word mystery. So I guess now it's time to wrap up the mystery show in the most mysterious way possible.
Oh, I don't know how that would be.
That would be pretty. I don't know how that would be either. But let's just let's do it the predictable way instead.
All right, that's better.
What are your closing thoughts on the word mystery?
I like them.
Okay.
When you were talking about the games, the Ghost Detective and those, there was a series I read, a series of books I read by a German author, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, Next Door, Morgue Drawer number 4, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's about somebody who dies and they wake up. They're still, the body's still there, but they want to find out who killed him and why. Yeah. And so he can talk to a couple of people, can hear him.
Okay.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. It's good, but it's hilarious.
Okay.
The person who wrote this, funny guy. There's 5 in the series.
What is the name of the series again?
Morgue Drawer.
Morgue Drawer.
Morgue.
Morgue
like
Drawer.
The place where dead.
Gotcha. Not more.
Morgue.
Morgue Drawer. I'm going to look it up really here.
Yeah.
Morgue Drawer series. There we go. Also a lot of audio books. I want to see who the author is. You're not telling me the author.
Jutta Profijt.
Jutta Profijt.
I don't know how to say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jutta Profijt.
And Eric Mackey.
Okay.
But Jutta Profijt is who you always. Oh, Eric Mackey is probably the translator because it's German.
Gotcha. Okay, but you said Do Not Enter is the one that you watched or listened. Book 4, right? Morgue Drawer book 4.
No. Oh, I read all of them.
Oh, okay. So they're
in Kindle. Yeah.
Okay, they're worth reading.
I think so because they're funny.
Okay, read them more for the humor or more for the mystery or both.
Both.
Okay.
It is a mystery, and the guy couldn't do it. The dead guy couldn't do it himself, so they put a couple of people who can understand him. One of them's a policeman.
Right.
And I don't know. The other one might be the coroner.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
That's kind of a formula sort of thing where it's like you've got.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a show called iZombie where there was a person who worked in a morgue who was a zombie. And that was perfect because they could eat the brains.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And no one would know. Yeah, right.
The zombie character worked with a police officer to solve mysteries. They would bring the person who got murdered in. She would eat their brains and then inherit some of their qualities. So it was like, yeah.
Okay.
So then the actress would, inherit some insights of what the character did, who the character knew, but it wasn't a full picture. It would just be helpful for the police officer to know this. So there's just a lot of comedy to be had by the zombie who's acting like this person. But yeah, anyway, that's what that reminds me of. But
it is similar. Morgue
Drawer, huh? Okay, that's your closing thought. My closing thought is mystery. It's fun and interesting to solve mysteries. That's all I have.
However, once you solve the mystery,
they're no longer mysteries.
Mysteries, yeah.
They are knowledge.
Deep, yeah.
From
deep
mysteries
thought.
to knowledge. That's a great way to stop the show.
Yes.
Thank you, Norah, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, it was such a pleasure.
That's no mystery.
It is not.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Too Vague Podcast. My name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.